Welcome back, and thank you for staying tuned. And our subject in union this evening is short-term insurance. My guests, Pogir and Christelle Fourie. We will take your emails. I've got an email here from Lionel in Sunnyside. He said, what is the effect of all the natural disasters last year on local insurance premiums? I mean, we had enormous disasters last year, starting in New Zealand, moving right through Australia, fires, then into Japan, America.
And also the Bangkok flood disaster was extremely big.
Tell us about how that's affected South African insurance premiums.
At this point in time, we were expecting, our shareholders are a large international reinsurance company, Hanover Re, and we've been warned that down the line we're going to see an increased cost of reinsurance, which will filter down to the policyholder. So we definitely have seen an increase in cost, hardening of the terms, but not that it's affecting the rates being quoted to the clients at the end of the day to that effect. But if this carries on, if we see more of these massive natural disasters, at some point it is going to start having a real effect on the pocket of the individual out there. And you can say it's climate change, you can say it's urbanization, you can call it whatever you want. If we see an increase of these natural disasters, we're going to start paying for it, because the money has to come from somewhere. We as the policyholders contributing to this pool of insurance to cover the claims will end up, paying for these losses down the line.
And Bryan, that's why it's so important for that individual to manage their claims. Now, don't submit unnecessary claims. Manage the costs of your portfolio of your insurance, because obviously, if an insurer sees that you are a multi-claimer, they are going to take corrective measures, underwriting measures, to either increase your premium or increase your excess, or even in that case both. So knowing that there have been those natural disasters and there is the potential of having some form of general increase in the market, it's very important to manage the costs of your portfolio and don't submit unnecessary claims.
Well, this leads me to an email from Hester in Blegauri. She says, my insurance premiums just keep going up, although I never claim. Surely my premium should reduce.
Well, there's actually a few variables that go into the normal increases. On the anniversary of the policy, remember you have inflationary adjustments on the homeowners, householders and all the sections of the policy. Will they naturally have an increase in premium? Everybody thinks that because your car depreciates year on year, your premium should be in line with the depreciation, but that's not the case, because in actual fact the costs of motor spares and parts have also increased. So insurance companies, and with all the natural catastrophes, are obviously forming contingencies, and very often premiums don't always decrease, but increase to cater for the increased costs of motor spares and parts and all those kind of variables.
So she must shop around.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to ask you. Is there enough competition in the South African market to shop around?
It is such a competitive market at the moment. You have your direct insurers, you've got your broking market. You can get, on your own personal lines insurance policy, you can get 10 different quotes and make a decision. But again, it's very important to make sure that you're comparing apples with apples and not just look at the bottom line, because you don't want to find out at a time of the loss that you've bought something that's not adequate or comprehensive enough.
Got an email from Desiree in Hyde Park. She says, I've got my jewellery in a safe deposit box. 2 questions. 1, do I need to insure it? And 2, is the cost higher when I take it out the safety deposit box than just if I insured it fully for the whole year on an all-risk basis, Craig?
Yes, well, to answer the first question, it is very important to insure those items in the bank. Banks could burn down and banks could get robbed. So
we saw one in the 70s. It was the Krugersdorp job, and they never arrested anyone. They tunnelled in and went into the safe deposit box.
Absolutely. So I would definitely insure the items in the bank.
But the rate is a very reduced rate, isn't it?
Much reduced.
Yes, it's a discounted premium. And then if you decide to take those items out of the bank, of course notify your broker, and your broker
before.
Absolutely, and your broker will charge you the premium in line with the amount of time that it's out of the bank vault. So you won't pay month on month the high premiums. You'll just be charged for the pro rata charge for a while.
But would you be paying the same rate as someone who insured it? I mean, let's say the rate's 3.5 or 4%. You'd be paying the same rates.
You actually get specialist jewelry insurance policy. So again, she needs to get a broker to shop around and then keep the items in the bank vault. If you take it out, you do get policies that will actually cover you while it's removed from the bank vault for a short period of time. So it's a specialized kind of cover if it's a large portfolio of jewelry that she needs to shop around and get advice on.
I've got an email from Peter in Clifton, lovely place to be. He says, a lovely place to work from. He says, I work from home and my computers and contents are insured under my householder's policy. Craig, is this sufficient?
Yes, well, it is
And your
sufficient.
households, or working from home, do you have to have a separate business type policy?
Well, firstly, it's very important that he discloses that to the current underwriter, that he does work from home. By working at home, it attracts a different kind of risk, and you need to disclose that to the underwriter. Very often, policies do cater for individuals working from home and extend the householder section of the policy to give you some cover for business use. Very important is to make sure that the householder sum insured is sufficient enough to cater for the replacement value of all the goods, including the business that runs from home. So those are what I would actually mention to the caller or the email from Clifton.
And Clifton is high up against the mountain, lots of stairs, liability insurance. So if you work from home, you've got a different liability risk. You've got clients visiting you that your personal policy might not cover. So.
Well, the challenge insurance brokers face is to demonstrate their practical value proposition to customers in an era marked by increasing competition from direct insurers and growing pressure from the consumer for lower premiums, wider cover and better service. Many consumers are buying insurance purely based on price, but they are not technically astute to fully understand what they are buying with all the policy conditions. There certainly is a place for direct insurance in the market. However, one needs to fully understand what one is buying. In my opinion, the more sophisticated and complicated the cover required, the more one needs the advice and help of a broker. More and more direct insurers are coming to the marketplace, and I believe that professional advice on insurance is more important than ever. If you'd like to get hold of Craig and you've got any questions for him, you can call him on 011-879-7200. If you'd like to get hold of me, my details will appear on the screen shortly. Please, before acting on any advice you've heard this evening, please talk to either your insurance broker or someone who knows what they're talking about when it comes to insurance. I'd like to thank you for watching. Next week we will be dealing with healthcare. Christelle, Craig, thank you very much for joining me this evening.
You.
To all of you watching, have a good night.